Unveil the enigma of your birth chart, also called your birth horoscope or natal chart. If you have used an online birth chart calculator, after plugging in your birth data, you may have received an image similar to this one. The image is the birth chart of a fictive person, and it was made using Astrology, one of the many free online birth chart calculators. For most people who are new to astrology, this kind of image looks rather confusing. But the image is actually a snapshot of the sky, depicting the positions of the celestial bodies at a person's birth. A unique map in time and space, showing your unique energies. And it's not as complicated as it may first seem. In this video, we will give you an easy and straightforward explanation of it so that you can understand your own birth chart. Astrology is geocentric. It puts us humans at the center of everything and analyzes how we are impacted by the energy around us at the moment of birth, although we cannot see those energies. This image is a very simplified version of a birth chart. There is a person in the middle of a circle, which represents Earth. The circle itself represents the path that the celestial bodies take in the sky. The sun, the moon, and the planets circulate around us, one revolution every 24 hours. All these celestial bodies follow the same path in the sky, also called the ecliptic. You can learn more about the ecliptic in our short video about it. In this birth chart, we have now added east, south, west, and north. A birth chart is always depicted with east to the left and south at the top of the image. The line divided the circle in an upper and lower part. The line between east and west represents the horizon. The upper part of the circle, therefore, is the part of the earth that you can see. The part of the circle below the horizon represents the other side of earth, the part of earth that is not visible to us. Two symbols have now been added to the birth chart. The little circle with a dot, close to south, is the symbol for the sun. As you know, the sun is south at the middle of the day. This means that this person was born at the middle of the day. In the lower part of the circle, you can see the symbol for the moon. This means that the moon was on the other side of the earth when this person was born. The birth chart has now been divided into 12 equally sized zones of 30 degrees each. These are the zodiac signs. Many people mix up the zodiac signs with the constellations. Constellations are groups of stars, but zodiac signs are zones in the sky around us, but they have got their names from the constellations. So constellations and zodiac signs are not the same thing. As we have mentioned, this person was born at the middle of the day, which we can understand from the birth chart since the symbol of the sun is close to south. We can also see that the sun was positioned in the zone or zodiac sign of Scorpio. This means that the person is born a Scorpio, or more precisely, the person's zodiac sign or sun sign is Scorpio. We can also see that the moon is positioned in the zone or zodiac sign of Gemini. The moon represents our emotional and instinctive reactions as well as our self-esteem. This person thus has a foundational energy of Scorpio, but when it comes to the person's emotional and instinctive reactions, they will be characterized also by Gemini. Online birth chart calculators give you an exact position of the sun, the moon, and planets, either directly in the birth chart image or in a table next to it. In the birth chart, the symbol for the sun is somewhere between 0 and 30 degrees Scorpio. As the image is very simplified, it's not possible to see the exact degree, but perhaps it's somewhere around 12 degrees Scorpio. The online calculators will not only give you the exact degree, but also often the arc minute and arc second. This is, however, not really meaningful. Most people are lucky to know the hour and minute they were born, but not the exact second. If the moment of birth is approximate, there is no reason for calculating planetary positions down to the precise arc second. If you are somewhat familiar with astrology, you will know that the so-called ascendant is equally important as the sun in describing your overall personality. The ascendant is the point of the sky which was directly east on the horizon when you were born. There are 3 other points related to the ascendant that are also very important for your personality. They are medium Cheli, the descendant, and imam Cheli. In conventional astrology, these points are somewhat neglected, and they are also often misplaced in the birth chart. In Sunring astrology, we believe that they are extremely important. They show the impact of the electromagnetic field around us that is mainly created by the Earth, Sun and Moon, a field of energy which is much stronger than the planetary energies. In this simplified birth chart, the ascendant is right between the zodiac signs of Aquarius and Capricorn. Usually the ascendant is not directly on the border between two signs, but in a certain zodiac sign. Let us imagine now that this person's ascendant is in Capricorn. This means that this person's outward expression, which family and friends will usually see, is characterized by Capricorn. So you can say that this person's personality is some sort of mix of Scorpio and Capricorn, but that on an emotional level the person tends to express him or herself like a Gemini. Medium Cheli, the point to the south in the birth chart, is the part of our personality that is mostly visible in a broader societal context, our most adult self. The descendant is the part of our personality that comes forth when we are alone, a part of our personality that others seldom see, except for those closest to us. Image Cheli is the part of our personality that is mostly visible when we are children, but that is rarely noticeable after the age of 30. Together, these points in the electromagnetic field explain our dynamic personality. As you may have noticed, we are not the same person with friends and family as we are at work or when we are alone. We call these points the Sunring. We have a video about the Sunring that we recommend you to watch. In the birth chart, we have now added 2 planets. Next to the moon is a symbol for Saturn. When 2 planets are close to each other in the sky, they form a so-called conjunction. This means that their energies mix with each other. In the image you can also see the symbol for the planet Mars. It's on the opposite side, 180 degrees from the Sun, forming a so-called opposition with the Sun. An opposition is usually seen as a conflicting mix of energies between 2 celestial bodies. Conjunction and opposition are so-called astrological aspects. There are more aspects used when interpreting birth charts. We have a short video about aspects where you can learn more. Conventional astrology puts a lot of emphasis on aspects. At Sunring astrology, we see planetary influences rather as nuances of energies, like nudges in the vast ocean of electromagnetic frequencies that we are constantly surrounded by. You can now see that the zodiac signs in the birth chart have been numbered. This is the so-called astrological houses, a tool that is very unreliable but highly cherished by astrologers, as they can provide all kinds of details that you can also find in horoscope columns in magazines. The house system used here is the first one that was developed in ancient Greece and is called the whole house system. It is the simplest of house systems, as the astrological houses are simply the same as the zodiac signs, and they are numbered in counterclockwise direction, starting from the ascendant. Other house systems divide the birth chart differently. They all start at the ascendant, but the houses are not equal in size and can differ substantially depending on the underlying calculations. The further north a person is born, the odder it will look. So what are houses? In general, they are supposed to tell us about in which life situation a certain energy will have its impact. Depending on which house system you use, the interpretation of the birth chart will differ quite substantially, and some house systems don't even work north of the Arctic Circle. This is why, in Sunring astrology, we think house systems should not be used at all. If you use a tool, different astrologers should come to the same conclusion, and the tool should also be universal and be applicable everywhere on Earth. If we now go back to the birth chart for the fictive person that was created with AstroSeek, we can now understand the following. When looking closely at the image, we find a symbol for the Sun close to east in the zodiac sign of Leo, more precisely at 12 degrees Leo. So this person is born a Leo. In the zodiac sign of Leo, we can also find the symbols for Venus and Mercury. You will also find symbols for the other planets in the birth chart if you look closely. Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune and Pluto. The colored lines in the middle of the circle represent the different aspects between planets, conjunction, opposition, sextile and so on. In the inner circle we can see the letters ASC. They stand for the ascendant. We can see here that the ascendant is at 2 degrees Virgo. Opposite the ascendant you will find the letters DSC, which stands for the descendant. the descendant is in 2 degrees Pisces. In the same way, you will also find MC, or medium Chile, and IC, imum Chile. They are, however, not correctly placed. They should be placed at 2 degrees Gemini and 2 degrees Sagittarius, perfectly symmetrical. Why this is so is rather complicated, but you can learn about it in our video series on electromagnetic astrology, as well as on our website, or watch our short video about Sunring for a quick and easy explanation. In the birth chart, you can also see the astrological houses. In this birth chart, another house system has been used, and you will notice that the houses are not of equal size. As you may notice, there are many other symbols. There has been a trend in astrology for hundreds or even thousands of years to just add more and more details and symbols. At Sunring Astrology, we think it's best to focus on the main powers of the electromagnetic field, which are the Sun, the Moon, and Earth. To interpret your birth chart correctly, you must of course also know a little about the energies of the different zodiac signs, as well as the energies of the planets, primarily the Sun and the Moon. Then you also need a bit of knowledge about the Sunring, that is, the ascendant, the descendant, medium Chile, and imum Chile. Everything you need is easily available on our website, sunringastrology.com. We hope you find this video helpful and that it will now be easier for you to understand your own birth chart. Thank you for listening, and please share your comments and thoughts below.